As a kid, one of the franchises I obsessed with was Thomas the Tank Engine, so of course a horror parody makes sense for me to play. It must be up my alley, right? This game is a complete disaster, and you're going to join me in my Platinum experience. I should mention before I start, I did have some tech issues with the aspects ratio, but I got it fixed quickly. The game opens with the player being a hunter brought onto an island to kill an evil train spider. Missed opportunity to call the island Sodor, but okay. We quickly get a key into a train shed to get our first trophy, Baby's First Mission. We get to see our epic train decked out with everything you'd need, including a gun to fight Charles. This old guy then dies because this game is very rapid in its opening's pacing. I do like this scene though, it just does a good job at showing off Charles as a villain. After that, I just enjoyed the vibe of freely riding around a train on a small island. I'll be honest, the island itself is pretty bland, but just riding around on the train, it never really got old. I quickly found Candace. Who's Candace? This lady. She needs us to collect scrap for a side quest to get even more scrap, and this pops our next trophy, Fetch Scraps for Candace. Scraps can be used to upgrade our train in 4 ways: to restore its health, increase maximum speed, damage, or armor. Maxing out these 3 latter categories has 1 trophy for each of them, which, spoiler alert, does become a pain later on. To get scraps, you need to complete side quests and just find scrap boxes lying around, or just scrap lying around on the floor on its own. I quickly then helped put a fire out to get flamethrower and our next trophy, Bug Spray Blaze. I should mention that these side quests and these weapon quests aren't listed as required, but that is complete bullshit. But we'll get to that later. I guess I should talk more about Charles himself now. He has a Bowser's Fury-like effect where he can spawn at any time, and during any mission you're not really gonna be inside your train, and because of that, you have no defense. But when you are in your train, you kinda just have to hope your stats are good enough to fight him off. You also get 2 health bars here. One's for your train and one's for yourself. If you're on your train and he ruins all health on your train, then he'll just remove your health by attacking the train itself. It's so frustrating to deal with him, and he's honestly more than an annoyance than a big scary monster. On top of that, every death, no matter what kills you, you lose scraps. Yeah, that gets annoying too. We then get to Sarah, who wants us to go to a mine, explaining there is 3 eggs that supposedly will make Charles come out and fight you till the death and not surrender, because when Charles usually comes out, if you fight him enough, he will surrender. He'll just go back and you can't kill him. The issue is that the owner of this island, Warren, who I assumed was the Fat Controller, which, spoiler alert, I was correct, he has cultist guards that will attack you on sight if you try to get the eggs. Luckily for the people of this island, since I was a child, I yearned for the mines. We enter and need to grab the egg and escape with it to get our trophy. The guards I mentioned are annoying to face though, as you can run, but that's it. Because they, on the other hand, they can run and they have shotguns. Yes, the player is faster, but it really doesn't help much. I quickly got the egg and escaped for the trophy South Mine Spelunking. The goal from here was to avoid side content and come back to it later for the trophies. So because of this, I activated the next mission and got Bunker Break-In for breaking into a bunker for a rocket launcher. The reason I did this before the next egg mission is just because these 2 people who I needed to activate these quests were right next to each other, so I may as well have activated both, got that, and then got the egg. Speaking of which, I then got the next egg for the trophy, North Mine Mystery. Also, the range on these explosions in that bunker mission are really stupid.
So how did that still hit me?
I next had to C4 this bridge for a required mission, as if Charles was to cross this bridge later on, the guy who gave me the task could easily blow it up and kill him immediately. After this mission, I was told to go to the Temple of Charles, as the game told me to. I did so. And part of me thought, wait a minute, I've only got 2 eggs, right? So I was like, maybe I go 3 and just remember 2 of them? Oh, and as I didn't have the 3rd egg yet, I kinda wasted my time coming up here. I then got the last egg for the trophy, a mine or a tomb. I then went back to fight Charles for the final battle, but got stomped really bad, because guess what? You wanna guess why I couldn't beat the boss? Anyone wanna guess why I couldn't beat the final boss? I didn't have enough upgrades. So you're telling me I have to do all the side quests to be able to stand a chance against the final boss. Why the fuck are they called side quests then? This doesn't inconvenience me too much, of course, as yes, I'll be stronger for the final boss, and also I have to do all the side quests for the trophies, but this is a genuinely baffling way to handle a video game. I quickly got back on my feet though, and got Cloud Climber for beating this quote-unquote side quest, Cloud Climber. This guy also calls the player a monkey, take that as you will. This side quest is very short, like most, as almost every single one of them doesn't have a lot going on. I'm pretty sure it takes more time for you to get to the quests than actually do them. In fact, if I went in depth on each one, I could probably spend more time talking about that than actually doing it. I don't think I've really shown it well, but this game really made me miserable because I was just doing boring shit. Normally that wouldn't make me miserable playing a game, but the fact that I had to do it to stand a chance against the final boss even though the game itself says it's not mandatory content, that really brought down my mood that night. But you know what, I need to build up my tolerance to bullshit and platinums anyway, so here we go, let's keep moving forward. After that I helped this guy get a box for Canyon Caper. I then loot Tony's barn for Loot Tony's barn. Also, I can't remember when I did it, but during this game at some point I did the Spider-Man 2 thing. It was very cool. I liked doing that. That was cool. I then got this annoying swamp mission next, where I had to get some meat from an island, and this witch lady who was just here was the one giving it to us. Yeah, there's no lore reason, there's just a witch here, you gotta deal with it. What else you gotta deal with is the fish monster. So, for some reason, there's no warning on how to really deal with him. You just gotta kind of freeze whenever he gets close, and then he goes away, and you can slowly move forward a bit more until it gets close, and then stop, and then you gotta move forward until it comes close again, and stop, and it's not fun to play. I then went to see this, wonderful lady? This is the pickle lady. She's oddly obsessed with pickles. For her quest, you need to get her pickle jar from a chest. But something it doesn't tell you is if you don't have the ability to lockpick, you need to go do an entirely different side quest first. Oh, also Pickle Lady's pickles are in her pickle cave. Take that as you will. On the way to do Journal Returnal, I got Heavy Hitter for getting all damage upgrades for my train. I then did Journal Returnal, and during it I stumbled into the Slenderman clone mission and collected pages for that mission. After Journal Returnal, there's this Slenderman clone mission. Collect the 8 pages and dodge a Roaring Knight from Temu. This guy only teleports you out and just wastes your time, so you just gotta walk back into the area. Because of this and the fact that the whole area looks exactly the same as itself, like in every part of it almost, this one took me half an hour where the others only took me a couple of minutes each. Because it all looks the same, you can't really make a mental mind map of anything. Oh, and when there was only 1 page left, and I finally find it, guess what happens? I get teleported away by the frickin' Roaring Knight wannabe, and then I get immediately killed by Charles. This genuinely made me mad, so I quickly got back in remembering, oh, it was in the outskirts on a post, got the final page, completed the mission. After this, I did decide to get off of the game for the night and come back to it the next morning. The next morning I came back and got chugging along to my next mission of choice, and on the way there I got almost impenetrable for getting armor upgrades. I then got to the lighthouse and restored the power for the next trophy, Light in the Dark. That's all the quests listed as side quests done. We do have one more weapon mission for a Gatling gun, literally named Bob by the way. You get a key, enter a room, and you get the gun. That's basically it. I tried the final boss, but then all the power in my house cut out. Oops. I'll talk about the final boss in more depth in a moment, but not right now because guess what happened? Guess what happened? Guess what happened? I needed another upgrade. I needed all the upgrades for the speed to have a fair chance at the final boss. And even then, I wouldn't even call it fair because when it gets to the last half of his fight, he can destroy your health slowly but surely because he's still faster. Because I did all side quests, I just had to wander around for scraps, which I did off camera. And my dumbass kinda forgot to record again when I got the next trophy, Speed Demon, for getting all the upgrades for the speed. For my strategy for the final boss, I used a flamethrower until Charles got to half his health, as the flamethrower does make him hold back a bit, which is really useful. Once I got to the second half, I quickly ran to the rocket launcher, switched over, and shot him like crazy. This did take a good amount of tries, this still wasn't easy, but hey, I did it, and now he's dead.
Okay, I got it. Oh, I'm done. Fucking done. Yes! I'm fucking done. Thank you.
I do like how the C4 bridge does come back at the end, that's kinda cool. For beating the game, we then get our next trophy. The last trophy we have to get today is for collecting all 11 paint buckets, which I didn't really mention before. The reason why is just because I didn't focus on them much and there's not a lot of them. The paint buckets you collect will recolor your train. Simple, but cool. I like when collectibles have purposes to them, whether it be lore, extra information, cosmetics, you get the idea. So basically anything that isn't the coffee thermoses from Alan Wake. Point is, collectibles need a point, and this game's collectibles had a point. I mean, the game also has notes, but the game never forces you to go for all of them. I do wish there was also a trophy for equipping the blue paint, as this game is a Thomas the Tank Engine parody, but it is what it is. Fittingly, I was getting shot whilst I was doing the lockpicking, and I found out shotguns can't hurt you whilst lockpicking, which is a weird bug but an interesting one. I then got the final trophy for collecting the final paint bucket and the platinum. I even saved the clip so then I could show people this bug, it's kind of funny. I then took a good look at all my paint buckets all together and uninstalled the game, and I'm never going to play it again.